Welcome, folks, to our first episode of our new show, Getting Back to Business. Natalie, so good to be back with you.
I am so excited. We work really well together and it's always super fun. And I always learn so much from you as well. So this is a delight.
It is. And let's share a little bit about what this is all about here, the Getting Back to Business.
So Ravi and I were having a discussion how everybody right now was reinventing themselves. How I was reinventing myself and Ravi as well, and how we have to eventually, we kind of have to change the way we do things. The world has changed forever. And some of us on a pause thinking, oh yeah, for the 2 or 3 weeks that this is gonna last, I'm just gonna take a break. And then we're realizing it's not over. It's not going anywhere. And we need to go back to work. We need to start making money again. So I've been doing lots of business mentorship and my clients always ask me the same thing. So they want to know, how do I make money now? What's going on? So Ravi and I had a discussion and we thought, why don't we start a show to help people with the questions that we get, because it's the same situation for you, I guess, Ravi. Your people that you're mentoring are asking you always the same questions. Mm-hmm. so we kind of have an idea of what you guys want to hear. So we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah. So everyone is, the rules have changed and sometimes you can't do business the same way. People are starting to open up at different places, different locations at different times, but things seems to be opening up, but sometimes the same rules don't apply. So each week, what we want to bring you is one key idea to focus on that may help you move forward as a business owner to really move your business forward. So this is exciting. We're going to play with this and see what we can bring you.
Totally. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So what are we talking about today?
Well, the thing is, everyone's talking about, I hate the term pivot. Oh my God, it has been so overused, but reinvent and so on. And I do think you need to reinvent sometimes how you do things. But the key here is not to reinvent what you do, right, Natalie?
Exactly. So even if there is a demand right now for masks, for example, you're not going to start becoming a seamstress, providing masks to the population and starting a big manufacturing plant and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in becoming a mass provider of masks for the population. This is not making any sense. Or just like you're not going to become a plumber or an electrician if this is not what you already have as skills. The problem is we feel that we need to reinvent what we do, and that everything that we've learned so far, the way we were doing business, is all behind us, and it's just good for the trash because now it's not working. Like, I am a speaker and I cannot go on big events anymore because there are no events, there are no more stages. So does that mean that all the skills that I've acquired in the past 12 years as a professional speaker need to go down the drain? Not really. And I do work with schools, with children, and teaching self-confidence and perseverance in schools. Schools are closed. So does that mean that all of a sudden I'm good for nothing? We don't want to take everything that you have learned so far and all the experience that you have and letting it go. It is still there, and it is still your skill set that you can use to just find another way to provide this service or provide this gift that you have, the skills that you have accumulated with your years of experiences.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you sort of have to step back a little bit and look at, as you say, the skill set and see what's a different context. Like, you and I in our business have stepped back. The speaking industry disappeared overnight 3 months ago, right? When this was declared a global pandemic, every meeting disappeared for the summer and now into the fall.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily just a speaker. We're communicators. We convey information that people can use to move forward. We coach. We can do that differently. So it's about learning to use new ways, new channels to still use the strengths, things that you're really good at. You know, it's a great example, the thing you said about making masks. Well, you know, if you are driving a bus, you're not going to become a mask maker. But I have a friend I interviewed actually just a week ago who is a fashion designer, and her business disappeared, but she was able to shift to actually making masks that are really high quality. And, you know, as she says, the future of fashion is going to include masks now.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I have to say, um, I feel so grateful and privileged because online seems to be the new norm. We do a lot of online things, and I've been seeing my coaching clients one-on-one online for 8 years already. So this is not new to me because I moved from Ontario to BC, and when I moved here, all my clients in Ontario still wanted to see me. So
Yeah.
I've been working, like I was working with Skype at the beginning, FaceTime, now with Zoom. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been transitioning. I remember about, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, I was really building my business and I was working hard, and I was getting up at 5 a.m., working until 10 p.m. I had fitness classes too, and I was working on the weekend. I was writing books. I was super busy. I would never see my husband or the kids, and I had no life balance. I was a one-woman show doing everything, and I was looking at people going away for the winter. 2 months. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't even take a day off. Is this what life is? Life as an entrepreneur, it means that you have no life and that you work all the time. And I loved it. I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. I love helping people. And I was just adding business mentorship at that time because people were asking me, yeah, but Natalie, we want you to teach us how you make money. How do you brand yourself? How have you created the Think Yourself Academy? So at that time, I made a pact with myself, and I thought, some people are able to get there. Some people are able to go away for 2 months during the winter, and I will do that. And I created a plan for myself. And that was 4 years ago. And I started to transition to put my business online, created some online courses so that I would not only have live events, I would be able to present online. I would get the equipment little by little. I had time, and it took me 2 or 3 years to set myself up to put my business online. Like right just this winter, as COVID hit, we were in Palm Desert for 2 months. Well, we had to come back early, but we were there. We had booked for 2 months because I had created the leverage that I needed with my business so that I could work from the pool in Palm Desert. So I'm so thankful and grateful that I have this experience, and I had time. Right now, I had a choice too. I thought it would be cool. And I'm sure that a lot of entrepreneurs out there have been thinking about bringing their business online and doing and using the web and using the international market. And it was a wish, right? But now it became you don't have a choice. You got it.
Absolutely.
So now it's more of an emergency. And when people act from an emergency place, sometimes it works faster. And sometimes if you don't have a choice, then it gives you the push in the butt that maybe you needed, that kick in the butt, right?
Yeah. Well, you look at the other changes that have happened, and it's like, you know, a few months ago, if you talked about working from home, no, you wouldn't have got a lot of great response. And I think part of that is a leadership issue, that they didn't trust the people, or they didn't feel. But then we were forced into it. And what are you finding now? People are actually, now that they're over the shock of the transition, are actually able to work effectively. And there's a lot of organizations saying, well, I don't know if we need our offices.
Yeah.
And so something that was considered impossible just a few short months ago is now becoming a norm. So this is the thing to look at, is go back to your skill set. What is it that you do well? And also, I believe it's important to bring your passion into it. What is it that brings you joy?
Yes.
And then say, okay, how else could I use that? So I, like you, I was doing some stuff online as well before, but
And
this has
say, okay,
accelerated it. Whoops, I'm getting echo there from you now. This has accelerated it, and but also there's it's been exciting finding, like, there's everyone has been zoomed out, go to webinared out, and it's like finding new things. I'm running with some friends a conference online in 2 weeks, which is actually like in a conference venue. You actually go and find a table and you sit there and meet people. You can move around, and it's phenomenal. So you can actually start to do more and more of the things we did in person. Yes, in person would be awesome. Ain't an option. But we can do so much now. And I'm honestly starting to wonder if I really want to travel for work anymore, because I've made that transition that I can do it all from my studio over there and from here. So, that's decision to be made. But the bottom line with this is, don't look at reinventing everything you do. You might need to reinvent processes, but keep your strengths, keep your passions, and say, how else? Where else can I channel them? What other context?
I guess the first step that maybe we could offer you a tool this morning, the first step would be to ask yourself, what do you want to do? Take a step back. Yes, there is an emergency. However, you don't want to just go, and then let's do whatever, anything, and whichever tool, and I just need to do something. And that happened to me. So I have to tell you a bit of a story. I do have a Google search that searches the web for any convention happening in LA Live. You know, that complex with the Staples Center and the convention center right there. And I love to present at LA Live. So I have this search that comes to my inbox whenever there's a convention that's planning for LA Live. I apply to speak at that convention because I like to go there. Right? It's super fun. So there was a convention that was being announced. It's the IoT convention. And first step, I had to Google what it was because I didn't even know what IoT was. So first step as to why I shouldn't apply, I had to Google it. Right? But yeah, I keep going and I get all excited and I want to apply to this convention. And it's happening in November. So I think maybe COVID will be over by then. That's awesome. So I sent a message to one of our speaker friends. Russ is in internet security. So IoT means Internet of Things. So I sent him an email to say, hey, you should apply to speak at that convention because it's exactly for you. And how can I bring my topic of neuroscience and mindset into that convention? What about if I say Internet of Brains or whatever? And he said, well, maybe you can talk about bring it into biohacking. I said, oh, good idea. So then I had to go Google what biohacking was. And then I thought, okay, I think I just got my reality check here. I'm not qualified to speak at that convention, period. Why would I waste my time trying to do something that I'm not? This is not my
You're not an expert in that.
Stop it. Like, so I never applied and Russ did. And I'm crossing my fingers for him to get in because that's his topic. That's what he does. So stop trying to find things that you're not good at. But before you do that, before you start into action, you might want to go into thinking and ask yourself the skills that you have and everything that you have in what you're passionate about, what you were doing pre-pandemic. Do you like that? Do you love? And is this what you want for your future? So scratch everything, put everything aside for a moment, sit down with a piece of paper and ask yourself one question. What's important to me about my career? And then start writing stuff. Start writing bullet points. So you will say something like, well, I want freedom. I want to make a difference. I want to help people. I want to feel that I'm working with a great team, or I want to have a great boss. So what do you want? And start writing down what's important to you. And then when you look at avenues, double check with your list that your top priority, because after that you will put them in order and say which one is your top number one. And once you've got your list of the non-negotiable, you absolutely need to have fun. If it's not fun for you, you don't want to do that for a living. If it's not your passion, and to understand what your passion is, look at your bank account and you can look at your calendar. So where are you spending your money on? And where are you going in your time? So look at your calendar. What do you do in your spare time? So what are you planning for yourself? What do you love to do? So look at that, and then look into avenues where you can go into these areas to apply the skills that you already have, and look at your list. Are my non-negotiable met in this avenue that I'm exploring right now? But take 1 minute to step back and say, hey, wait a minute, is this really what I want to do?
Right.
Yeah.
And so there may be actually an opportunity to, in a way, reinvent if what you do right now is not, or did before COVID, is not a joy. This actually may be a chance to do that. But the other thing that you can do in order to, pull out these things is, you can make a list of those things, as Natalie said, but you can also look back in your career. And what are those times that filled you with joy, that was such a rush, that you were so excited? Start to find what was common there, what you were doing. Were you with certain types of people? Were you doing certain types of things? What was there? And then as you bring those things, now, some people can be very good at looking creatively. Some people, are their strengths are more in let's do things orderly. If your strength isn't in being creative, then connect with some friends and say, look, here's what I'm seeing. And also another thing is talking to friends. They can see things that you sometimes can't. Your strengths, your passions, to ask them. But then say, here's what I'm seeing. Is this what you see as well? And then where else might I be able to use that? Where else, what other combinations that, how else could I use that to create value? Because right now, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy was so right. He says, there is so much opportunity out there. So many people are needing so many things because the world has changed. Where can you add value that brings you joy as well, that brings your strength into play? That's where these things, it's like Venn diagrams coming to find that spot in the middle that overlaps.
Yeah, absolutely. There might be there are two things you could do during this time, is either, and I will use the word pivot, or transition your business to an online market, or there might be your business will come back. So maybe you are in an industry or a business that is just really on pause right now. So how can you take this time to work on yourself? How can you maybe go on to webinars or get a new skill set? If you're in the tourism industry, why don't you learn another language? I don't know. Like there might be some courses out there that you can take in order to, let's say that you are a manager in a business, and the business will reopen and you will get your job back and you will go back to, that's fine. Then maybe you want to set yourself up to bring your skills to another level during the pandemic so that you can apply for the VP job in that business. What did you have an eye on? What is that dream that you have on the back burner? And you're like, nah, that's not for me. Nah, it doesn't matter. No, it's okay here. Maybe you're absolutely happy with what you're doing. So then go learn how to play the harmonica. Just do anything that's not related to. If there is something else that you've been eyeing in your career thinking, hey, maybe I would like to do that. Maybe I would like to go to the next level. Then use this time, take some courses, get yourself to the next level. So then when you get back, and send some emails and say, hey, when we get back, I want to apply for this promotion. What do I have to do? Ask some questions and say, hey, I want to use this time to get ready. I have some extra time right now. All my courses at night are canceled, or my activities, I'm not going on holidays anymore. I'm not. So use your time either to transition your business to go to the next level. And that's what I'm doing with my clients. So everybody's, I do have lots of online courses, like Think Yourself a Tech Pro, I Think Yourself a Business Pro. So people are using these courses to learn how do you present on video? How do you use lights and which camera? What microphone do you need? Etc.
Yes.
Right? And there's a lot of questions because sometimes technology can hold you back. So I've created some courses to help out because I realized that the clients were always asking me the right question, the same questions. So I created some courses that answers all the main questions that people are having. Same with Think Yourself a Business Pro. So what are the steps? Maybe you don't have a business right now and you would like to use that time to launch your business. So where do you start? So in Think Yourself a Business Pro, you could learn that. And then eventually, so what I'm doing with my clients now is people that maybe they have done the course already, and now we're specifically working on their promise statement, because not everybody has the creativity like Ravi has, and sometimes you just need a little push. So that's what we're here for.
And I was saying earlier, it's where all of these things overlap, and it made me think. I just want to share. I just looked up what there's a Japanese concept that I love called ikigai, and it just disappeared. Where did it go? Bring it up, back up. There we go. And it's where you bring. It's ikigai is called, and I'm probably not pronouncing that properly, but it's a reason for being, and it's where what you love is fused with what your skills, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. And so what Natalie was talking about with the technical, you may need to work on what you're good at to get up there, perhaps with technology or with other skills. But for me, the big thing that's the fuel is what we love, and making sure that that's in there, because a lot of people focus on the bottom three: what they're good at, what they can be paid for, what the world needs, and they forget what their passion is. Yes. And so most of my work is helping people connect with their cores. What's your sense of purpose, of meaning, and how do you resculpt your life around that, bringing your skills, bringing your your abilities, bringing the needs that the world has, and then what can pay you for. So the magic area is in the middle, and to think about what perhaps you're missing in that map.
This is brilliant. I love the ikigai. I do have something very similar that I use in the Think Yourself a Business Pro course, actually, how to find your sweet spot with 3 circles. And I do talk about passion. I don't have that many circles, which is really interesting. I'm going to look into that. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
brilliant.
So Natalie, you want to let them know how they can get a hold of you if they want to chat a bit about...
Yes, absolutely. So you can go to thinkyourself.com and you can contact me from the website. Otherwise, if you would like to just book a virtual coffee, we could just have a coffee together. So you would go to thinkyourself.com/schedule. So thinkyourself.com/schedule. Then you are... you can pick a time at your convenience in your time zone, because now I have clients in China, I have clients in England, because of the pandemic.
Right.
The world has opened up. So if there was no market for what you're doing, driving to your customers in your area, when you start going online, the world is your
Absolutely.
your market now. So it's really cool. It's really cool. So there are a few gifts as well that you can go download at thinkyourself.com/free-gifts. And then you can go download. I have some different implementation guides that you can use. I have gratitude forms. I have lots of workbooks that you can use in your reinvention of your career and getting back into business.
Wonderful. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can just go to callravi.com. Same thing as what Natalie has with her schedule about scheduling a Zoom call and to chat about, what I'm talking with a lot of people about now is how do you, if you're a business owner, how do you step up and engage your people, support your people, because they're going through a lot of stuff in adapting as well. And as leaders, we have to do this work to support them. The other thing too, if I could mention, if you are an entrepreneur, I'm doing a study with a colleague of mine actually in Vancouver for entrepreneurs on what does it take, what do you need to be great at to thrive through these times. And what I'll do is I'll put the link in the comments. And if you could just take a few minutes and fill that out, we'd really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to get there's information there so that you can get the report for free as well when it comes out. So just go to the link that'll be in the comments if you could, and let us know what you think you need to be great at to thrive moving forward.
And we have 2 more dates for you. So we have next Thursday, June 18. What are we doing on Thursday, June 18? It's not this specific show. This specific show will happen again next Friday at 11 a.m. Or 2 p.m. Eastern time, or 3 p.m. Atlantic time. But on Thursday, we're doing something else.
We are. I'm sorry, my brain just totally went
I'm going to do a guest on your entrepreneur show, creating.
Oh, that's right. You're sorry about that. Yes, absolutely. Yes, every weekday in June, I'm absolutely crazy. I'm doing a show every weekday in June where I'm interviewing an incredible entrepreneur. And next Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing the amazing Natalie Plamondon-Thomas about her journey, entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
I'm super excited to be on this show. You're doing so many shows. I understand, Ravi. There's so much going on your plate. You're a perfect example of what to do during a pandemic. You didn't need any time. You turned around. I'm a member of CAPS, the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, and Ravi has been hosting tons of different webinars, going to get experts, helping the whole community. We are so lucky to have Ravi as our pathfinder, if you'd like. I personally, whenever there's something that I'm not sure about, I always call Ravi and say, hey, can we book a 15 minutes? I would like a virtual coffee with you so we can, you can teach me how to do this.
Well, you're figuring out all sorts of amazing stuff. It's been wonderful following your journey as well.
So we will see you all on Thursday on Ravi's show. Ravi can put the link in the comments of this thread as well. And next Friday, same time, another episode of Getting Back to Business.
Let's rock and roll. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.